Greetings, visionaries. This is your host, the INFJ Visionary. And as I do sometimes, I like to just, sort of type INFJ into the YouTube search and see what comes up. It gives me a sense of kind of putting my finger on the pulse there, so to speak. And one of the first ones that come up, sometimes I got to scroll a while, I should say, but it was like when INFJs turn ruthless or something like that. It definitely had the word ruthless in it, which caught my eye. That was as far as I needed to go because I got things to say. You know what? We are generally very warm people, very giving. We tend to give people the benefit of a doubt as well, in spite of the fact that it's pretty easy for us to see just about everything messed up about them. But we give people the benefit of the doubt. I think we do it, or I do it. I guess I should speak for myself. Because that's what I would like. I would like for people to give me the benefit of a doubt. So I feel that's a reciprocal operation there. And we know it doesn't work out like that. And for this reason, some of us can attract narcissists, and we talked about that on the channel a bit. I'm not a real expert with it, narcissism and stuff. I've had my interactions with narcissists, but not a big part of my life now. I see them coming a mile away. And just avoid them. That's your best plan with a narcissist. Just don't get involved. Anyway, back to ruthless. Why would we go from warm, inviting, accepting to cold, uncaring, and ruthless? Why would we do that? Because the problem with being so giving is that it kind of leaves you flapping in the breeze, and people oftentimes just assume that you're some kind of doormat and that they can just walk all over you. That's one reason. Also, being like this means that other louder, more dynamic personality types, and I think we are dynamic, but in a different way. That'd be a good topic for another video. I'm an extremely dynamic dragon. But it's not that obvious to people because I tend not to share all the different pies I have my claws in, Anyway, like I said, good subject for another video. In fact, I'll make a note. Okay, so we go ruthless because we're not being appreciated. We're just putting things out. Nobody cares. We're not the last ones invited. We're the last ones consulted. We are ignored. And there's plenty of videos you'll see out there about being in the background, and that's a problem with INFJs because we don't necessarily feel all that comfortable asserting ourselves, putting ourselves forward. That's very much an aspect of introversion. Now, that's not to say we don't want some acknowledgement for the things we do, because quite often we're brilliant and we deserve attention for our work and our good deeds. A lot of sulfur going on here in the volcano temple today, so might be a few sniffles. Sorry about that. We deserve it, We deserve the accolades, the some sort of acknowledgement, and we are pretty okay with, I think, even the smallest amount will make us happy. And oftentimes, when we get to a place where it's clear that that's not forthcoming, that we're underappreciated, and we are frankly just done, we can turn very cold, and it feels colder because a lot of times it's just a matter of that person comes around, we're always going to be polite. We say, hey, how's it going? But from there we'll just turn around and head to whatever else it was we were doing before we ran into that person. Whereas in the past we might have stopped to have a little conversation. And trust me, there are types that certainly do notice this kind of thing. I think we notice this kind of thing very well with our extroverted feeling. And sometimes early on our hope is that they might just notice, and that I don't think We're there's a lot of references to door slamming in the INFJ world and the INFJ video world especially. And that's a pretty ruthless act, so I guess it's under the same umbrella, right? Uh, when we do that, it's a self-preservation mechanism. We feel that it's like tilt, tilt, tilt. We are done. We cannot continue on the way things were. And it's especially painful for us. I think that's something that's always left out of the conversation, because we really do feel other people's pain, including the pain that they're feeling from us basically being mean to them. you know? And this is the other thing. I don't think I will. Again, I'll just speak for myself. Maybe some of you INFJs out there are naturally mean, but I don't think so. I think this is very much a part of our dynamic. I'm never mean. I have often been referred to as mean, but that's because I'm speaking directly. That's not the same thing. To me, being mean is intentionally saying something hurtful to somebody, or intentionally knowing somebody wants something and not giving it to them, even though you could. That's mean. And that's not me, ever, even if I'm really mad. I could be cold, though. And in a sense, I think that, getting back to what I was saying, that's like, we know that coldness is hurtful. And perhaps early on, maybe the person will notice that they've been treating us badly, that they've been taking advantage of us, or underappreciating us in whatever situation it is that's turned us cold. And straighten up and fly right. That has happened, actually. So I can't think of any specific occasions right now, because I don't mind giving you guys stories. But I know it's happened. It's rare, because what's more frequent is that people are just worried about their feelings, and they just think you're being an ass and being, a bad person, and they don't really want to understand how they might be involved. And this is very much, they don't want to understand how they're the cause of how they're being treated, that we're essentially just reflecting back to them their disdain, right? But this is, kind of an evolutionary thing, right? And I do believe, and not just an evolutionary thing, it's one of these aspects of reincarnation. I think some of us have been here many more times than others, and it's not something to get a big head about. It's something to just be aware of, and especially before you're going to go and be ruthless to somebody who, let's face it, they may be, compared to you, they may be very childish, and childish in that they don't have the capacity to really live their life as fully as they should. They don't have the capacity to take responsibility for their output, and if that's the case with somebody, then you probably don't want to be around them anyway. So maybe being a little ruthless there, at some point you're going to have to pull the plug. Unless, of course, it's like a family member, and we've all experienced that. And my advice in that particular case is, don't be ruthless, don't be mean. There you just got to kowtow. You just got to toe the line. And that's fine too, okay? It's perfectly fine. You don't need to get all up in your own hurts. And a lot of time, let's face it, if you're going to be cold, you're going to be ruthless, you're going to be something other than warm and inviting and understanding, that's basically coming from a place that's an egoic place. It's a posture of self-defense. And it may be essential for you to do so, just for your own psychic integrity. If it is, only you'll know. And I've been cold, I've been ruthless, and that's the other thing, though. Yes, we do feel that there's pain, but we don't care at that point. That's the thing. It's like, I'm done with you. I don't care. And we know how final and dark that is, because we don't really want to be that way, right? So I hope you got something from our talk today, INFJ. I'll be back in a couple more, and until I am, I want you to keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on.